say Keith Thurman ain't relevant. Keith Thurman ain't relevant? Hold up. How many times did Keith Thurman fight this year? One time. How many times did Errol Spence fought this year? One time. How many times did Terrence Bud Crawford fought this year? 0. Donut. There goes your relevancy. Okay. Let's take it a step further. Damn, Keith Thurman haven't been relevant since when? Since he beat Danny Swift Garcia 2017 and stuff like that. Well, what these other guys have done that's so much significant, so much more significant than Keith Thurman. Errol Spence, he beat Ugas. Okay? Unified 3 titles. More than Keith Thurman did. He unified 2 titles. But people act like Keith Thurman ain't done nothing, right? That he just disappeared from the face of the earth and everybody just passed him. Everybody. Like he's not even relevant for a major fight versus Errol Spence or Bud Crawford. Who did Bud Crawford beat? Sean Porter. When did Keith Thurman beat Sean Porter? Before that, he beat Mean Machine. Mean Machine. Who's Mean Machine? The same guy that Virgil Ortiz knocked out? Huh? Bud Crawford going to be fighting David Avanesian. Did a Mean Machine knocked out David Avanesian? Anyway, so Errol Spence, he fought, before that, he fought Sean Porter. No, before that, he fought Danny Swift Garcia. Keith Thurman unified the title with Danny Swift Garcia when he was undefeated. Before that, it was Sean Porter. Keith Thurman already beat Sean Porter. What these other guys have done, there's so much significant in Keith Thurman that people just got to push Keith Thurman to the side like, hey, yo, he did the greatest. Yeah, he lost to Manny Pacquiao. A legend. Manny Pacquiao. Arguably the GOAT. Manny Pacquiao. The 8th division world champion, the 5-time lineal, the 12-time world champion, the ambassador, the senator, you're the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all, the GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. Ugas beat him, but it was 11 days notice. Manny Pacquiao was out for 2 years. 2 years. 2 years as a 40-year-old man, out for 2 years. Keith Thurman was out for 2.5 years for Mario Barrios, and won every round. Beat him to the point where you can't even recognize Mario Barrios' face. But I understand a lot of people didn't give credit for that one-sided victory because Mario Barrios got knocked out by Gervonta Tank Davis, and that's the reason why people don't want to give Keith Thurman credit for being 2.5 years out the game. Looking strong. His stamina was up. His power was there. Beating this guy to an unrecognizable face. But again, because Tank beat him, I understand you don't want to give him credit. I'm going to keep on saying this. Nobody has really done anything more significant than Keith Thurman. Yes, Errol the True Spence is a 3-division world champion. He did a slight more, but in terms of, oh my God, I just want to see Bud and Errol Spence and don't push Thurman to a side. He a gatekeeper. Gatekeeper for losing a split decision with Manny Pacquiao. That there's people out there that feel like, maybe Keith Thurman did win. Yes. People talk about, Keith Thurman weak to the body. Keith Thurman always been a vulnerable fighter. Let's not forget that early in his career, he got dropped. Let's not forget that Soto Carras make him do the salsa. Let's not forget that Luis Collazo also hurt him. Let's not forget also who else hurt him. They say Sean Porter hurt him. Josecito Lopez hurt him. Keith Thurman, this is not a new thing that Keith Thurman, oh my God, he's vulnerable. He always been vulnerable. Even when he was elite, he was vulnerable. See, but the thing about Keith Thurman is what does he do when he does get hurt? See, I come from an era where Tito Trinidad used to get put on the ground. Used to get put on the ground, and then he go back to his corner. His daddy smacked him up. And then he go knock out his opponent. You feel me? I come from that era. I don't come from this bougie era that if a guy nips you, you're like, oh my God, he got exposed. Or, oh, he got hurt to the body. Oh, he exposed. When's the last time you seen Keith Thurman on the ground by a body shot? When's the last time? When's the last time you seen Keith Thurman getting KO'd? When's the last time you see Keith Thurman being TKO'd? Why are y'all trying so hard to push Keith Thurman to a side? See, a lot of y'all dudes are hypocrites, contradicting yourself. People be like, I want boxing to be like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Where they all fought each other. When they all fought each other, right? Roberto Duran versus Leonard. Leonard versus Hagler. Hagler versus Hearn. And they all fought each other. And with Frey Benitez, they all fought each other, right? They all fought each other. That's the point. The point is that we've been saying for years that the welterweight division is stacked up. So if it's stacked up, why y'all being a slave to one fight, Bud and Errol Spence? Huh? You think I don't want to see Keith Thurman and Bud? You don't think I want to see Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman? Matter of fact, Keith Thurman and Bud and Errol Spence been marinated longer than Bud and Spence. Oh, I love to see Boots versus the other guy. All these guys mix it up. I want to see Virgil Ortiz mix it up. But why y'all desperate and trying to push Keith Thurman to a side? Because he's irrelevant? Ladies and gentlemen, if Keith Thurman is irrelevant, everybody's irrelevant. Matter of fact, boxing is irrelevant, especially in America. It's a niche sport now. But if if Errol Spence fight Keith Thurman, that will be the best opponent in his resume. That will be the biggest win in his resume if he beats Keith Thurman. Why y'all so desperate pushing Keith Thurman to a side? You ain't gonna get the Bud and Errol Spence fight. Yeah, Boots and Errol Spence. IBF, yes, mandate the fight. But yeah, let's say Boots gets Errol Spence and Errol Spence beat Boots. Boots haven't even had his own main event. He hasn't even had a main event fight yet. Virgil Ortiz had a main event fight. Yeah, at the end of the day, if these guys they beat these top guys in the division, but are they beating any world champions, any former world champion? You will be beating the guy. If Errol Spence fights Keith Thurman, you will be beating a former unified titleist. A former top 5 pound for pound. Let's not forget when Keith Thurman beat Danny Super Garcia, an undefeated welterweight at the time. Errol Spence at the time was not a champion. They put Keith Thurman, ESPN, and a lot of credible pound for pound lists, top 5. ESPN had him at number 4. Keith Thurman, Errol Spence needs to happen. Not because Bud and Spence didn't happen. It's because in this era, all of these guys should fight each other just like the other era that we desperately love, that we shame this era for not doing. If you want boxing to be like it used to be, you should want to see Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, right? Or y'all was just BSing all around in this community, and when you debate on Twitter, you debate on YouTube or Facebook or stuff like that, you do want boxing to be like it used to be, right? So if I do, yeah. So if you want it to be like it used to be, Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence is the fight to make. And it's a bigger fight than Bud and David Avanesian, the guy that got knocked out by the Mean Machine. They got beat up by Lamont Peterson. That would be the biggest fight in the welterweight division. That would be bigger than Errol Spence and Sean Porter. That would be bigger than Errol Spence and Danny Super Garcia. That would be bigger than Errol Spence. Well, I'm not gonna say more accomplishable, but I'm gonna tell you like this: even Errol Spence being Keith Thurman is a bigger win than beating Ugas. Yes, the three-headed monsters are Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and Bud Crawford. Either Errol Spence take Thurman out, or Bud take Thurman out. Y'all gotta fight Thurman. One of y'all gotta fight Thurman, and Errol Spence is in place to fight Thurman. For you fans that keep on downplaying it, trying to push him to the side, gatekeeper, disrespecting the man, stop it. Cause y'all the fans that y'all the cancer in this sport. Y'all don't know what y'all want. So again, we hearing that Errol Spence may want to move up to 154. We already know that he's a huge welterweight. I don't know who he will fight at 154. He don't want to fight Jamal Charlo, so he's not gonna I don't know if he's gonna go for the undisputed. Brian Castano versus Errol Spence at 154 is good. Lara, I don't know. He's going to 160. Tony Harrison, maybe. But yeah, I would like to see a Brian. If you move to 154, I would like to see a Brian Castano and Errol Spence. Or Keith Thurman said that he's willing to move up to 154 as well. At the end of the day, man, Errol Spence, in my opinion, need to quit with this. I don't want to fight Keith Thurman BS. Stop it. That's the best opponent out there, and that's the most accomplishment opponent that you can have on your resume. So Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence needs to happen. Is my primary fight right now, knowing that Bud Crawford's already going to be fighting Dave Avenesian. That's the primary fight in the welterweight division. The best fight to make is Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. Is the best accomplishable fight. Is the best name. He's already accomplished stuff. Is the best money fight. Is the most lucrative fight in the welterweight division right now. If you against this fight, I don't know what type of fan you are. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.